Thank you for choosing to watch this video. This video is about the June 7th primary election. The Literacy Services Center at the Fresno Public Library would like to share some information about the upcoming primary election. The Literacy Services Center at the Fresno County Public Library works with dedicated volunteers such as Catherine, who you will be hearing today, and staff like Evelina and myself, Deborah. One of the goals that we work towards is improving literacy skills. Literacy skills are the foundational skills of all skills. They allow us the opportunity to be empowered and engaged in our community. Preparing to vote and voting is a big part of our civic responsibility as community members. The primary election timeline is as follows. Fresno County mail ballots have been sent out starting May 9th and will continue to be sent out through May 31st. The last day to register to vote for the primary election is May 23rd. Conditional voter registration in person can be done from May 24th through June 7th at 2221 Kern Street, Fresno, California, 93721. Starting May 28th, conditional voter registration at voter centers will begin. 11-day voting centers throughout Fresno County will open starting May 28th and will be open till June 6th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. June 7th is election day, so the voter centers will be open as early as 7 a.m. and closing at 8 p.m. If you're in line by 8 p.m., you will have the opportunity to vote. All voting centers will be open on June 4th through June 6th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., giving Fresno County residents plenty of opportunities to vote. For those of us who mail our vote by mail ballot, those must be postmarked no later than June 7th, 2022. The last day that those will be received is June 14th, 2022. Both centers will have Spanish-speaking staff to assist you. Both centers are clearly marked and can be found at a variety of places through our community. As I stated before, the information on this video pertains to Fresno County. I'm going to turn it over to Evelina, who will speak more.
Thank you, Deborah. So who can register to vote? To register to vote in California, you must be a U.S. citizen and a resident of California, 18 years old or older on election day, not currently serving a state or federal prison term for the conviction of a felony, and not currently judged mentally incompetent by a court of law. How do I register to vote? You can register to vote or update your registration online at registertovote.ca.gov. If you would like to fill out a physical form, voter registration applications can be found at post offices and libraries. You must re-register to vote if you move, change your name, or change your political party preference. Did you know that you can pre-register to vote? In California, you may pre-register if you are 16 or 17 years old and meet all the other eligibility requirements to vote. After pre-registering, you will automatically be registered to vote on your 18th birthday. Visit registertovote.ca.gov.
Thank you so much, Evelina. So this slide is going to talk about the information that you can vote on your ballot. And some of it is about people you can vote on, and some would be laws. So some examples of people at the national level, you can vote on a US senator or a US congressperson. At the state level, you could vote for governor or other statewide office, such as lieutenant governor. At the local level, examples of people you can vote for would be a county supervisor or a member of a school board. Your ballot also allows you to vote on laws. And in this June primary, there will be only local ballot measures. And examples of local ballot measures are things like local school tax, raising county minimum wage, etc. This slide shows information about branches of government, and it uses terms that maybe you've seen before. We're going to talk a little bit about them. We see executive and we see legislative. So the thing to keep in mind is that the legislative branch is the branch of government that makes the laws. And the executive branch is the branch that carries out the laws and creates the programs to do so. So here are some offices, some folks you can vote for at the various levels. So for example, at the federal level, the executive office is the president, and the legislative offices would be members of the US Senate or the US House of Representatives. At the state level, the executive would be the governor, and the legislative bodies would be the state assembly and state senate, so members of those two bodies. For the county, there is no executive that's voted on, but at the county level, legislatively, you have, for example, a board of supervisors. Lastly, at the city level, the executive that you could vote on would be the mayor, and the legislative body would be, for example, the city council. So those are some terms and some phrases to help you get a feel for what goes behind, what those mean in relation to executive and legislative opportunities to vote. And here we're talking about what's going to be on the ballot on that June 7th primary election. And you see on the various multicolored boxes here, there are quite a few. Governor and lieutenant governor, secretary of state, controller, treasurer, attorney general, insurance commissioner, member of the State Board of Equalization, state superintendent of public instruction, US representative in Congress, state senator, and state assembly member. And we'll talk about this towards the end of the presentation, but you can always go online to find out more information about these offices, the candidates, the information about what the ballot looks like. All of that is information that you can find online, or you could go to your library and you can get printed materials. You can also ask the library helpers to help you go online and learn more about what the ballot looks like and get more information in your preparation to vote. So we're going to pass it over to Evelina now, please.
Thanks, Catherine. So some of the things that your ballot will include, most importantly, it's going to contain 2 election contests for US Senate. The regularly scheduled election for the full 6-year term starting January 3rd, 2023, and a special election for the remainder of the current term starting in November 2022 after the general election. You may vote on both elections. In addition, your ballot may contain local contests. Know that your ballot is based on your address. Your ballot may not look like the ballot of a cousin or a family friend who lives in a different part of Fresno County. And some of the issues and the candidates will be the same, but others will be based on your address. You have different city council representatives, you have different US representatives, and so on. Ballots are also available in other languages. We will speak more to that in a further slide. There are Fresno County-wide issues on this ballot that we all get to vote on. Elected officials for Fresno County include the sheriff coroner, who's a public administrator, our district attorney, the Fresno County Office of Education Superintendent of Schools. We'll also find a special measure on this June's ballot. It's Measure Z, and that's the Keep the Zoo measure. Thank you so much, and I'm going to hand it back to you, Catherine.
Thank you, Evelina. So please remember that you do not have to vote for everything on your ballot. You can find information, as I mentioned earlier, online. There's lots of information out there, printed and online. And you can find information on your specific ballot based upon your address if you go to the Voter's Edge. And that's https://votersedge.org/ca. So you're going to prepare yourself and read through, but when it comes time to vote, if you don't have a strong opinion on something, it's okay to skip it. You don't have to vote on everything on your ballot. That's fine. No worries about that. Once your ballot is complete, please remember to sign and date your ballot. And you'll see on the graphic there in the middle, there's a snapshot of what that actual segment of the envelope looks like. The signature box is on the top right. It's under the flap. And this is different. If you've seen an envelope for a mail-in ballot in the past, this is in a different space and a different look than previous. So again, it's under the flap on the top right, and you're going to sign and date. So no stamp is required. If you're mailing your ballot, make sure it's postmarked by June 7th and received so that it can be received by June 14th in order to be counted. And if you're dropping off your ballot at a local ballot box, again, no stamp is required. Assistance for voters with disabilities. There is help for voters, and you can call at the local level for the County of Fresno, 559-600-VOTE, or it's 559-600-8683. And more information in relation to assistance for voters, you can also call at the state level. You can call the Secretary of State's toll-free voter hotline. That's at 800-345-VOTE, 800-345-8683. And one of the very helpful websites you can go to, we've mentioned before, is the Voter's Guide. So that's voterguide.sos.ca.gov. You can also get an audio MP3 version of the Voter Guide by going to voterguide.sos.ca.gov/en/audio. So what we want you to take away from this is that there's lots of information available. When in doubt, you can go to online, or you can go to your local library, and folks will be there to help you get the information you're looking for. So now I'm going to pass it back on over to Evelina.
Thank you, Catherine. So now you voted. How do you know the county received your vote by mail ballot? Voters can receive notifications on the status of their vote by mail ballot by signing up for the Where's My Ballot tool. You sign up at where'smyballot.sos.ca.gov to receive automatic updates on the status of your vote by mail ballot by text message, email, or voice call. And when you sign up for Where's My Ballot, you'll also receive automatic updates from your county elections office. So, additional useful information. If you want to skip the line, you can. Just return your completed, signed and dated ballot by mail. No stamp needed. Or you can return it to a secure ballot drop box like the one pictured here in front of the Sunnyside Library. You can also drop it off at a voting location. Voting locations will have separate lines for voters dropping off completed ballots. To find a nearby drop box or voting location, go to caearlyvoting.sos.ca.gov. You can also vote early in person. If you visit a location in person, go before Election Day to help with the physical distancing. One or more voting locations will be open May 28th, 2022 for 11 days. And all Fresno County voting centers will be open on June 4th, 2022.
The primary election timeline that is on your screen lets you know the important dates to remember. Again, mail ballots have been mailed out and will continue to be mailed out till May 31st, 2022. May 23rd is the last day to register to vote. May 24th through June 6th, conditional vote registration in person happens at the county clerk's office, 2221 Kern Street. You can also register to conditional voter registration is also happening starting May 28th at the 11-day vote center. So that opens more opportunities for people to register to vote who may have missed the deadline. But if you don't want to miss the deadline, you can register between now and May 23rd. June 4th through June 7th, all voter centers in our community will be open. The voter centers will be open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. June 7th, which is Election Day, all voter centers will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And again, if you're in line before 8 o'clock, you're allowed to vote. So make sure you get there before 8 o'clock. Allow yourself plenty of time. The last day to receive your postmarked mail-in ballot is June 14th. So again, those mail-in ballots, you do not have to pay postage for them. You don't have to vote on everything, and you could take your ballot to anywhere that accepts ballots here in Fresno County. Again, the resources, votefresnocounty.com, vote www.vote.ca.gov, and all the other resources we use will be linked below this video, and you're welcome to explore them, learn more. Remember, voter education materials and ballots are available in other languages, and you are always welcome to visit your local library branch to get more information. We'd like to thank you and remind you to register, vote, and let us know if you found this video helpful by calling us at 559-600-9240, emailing us at literacy@fresnolibrary.org. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you watching all the way to the end.